Hello everybody, today I have the pleasure to propose to you this fourth key entitled Unconditional Love, the essence to transcend reality. Well, actually, what is concretely unconditional love? Let's try to define the love first. So we can consider 4 or 5 chapters. The first one is the most obvious. When we think about love, we think about a couple, okay? Love, to be in love with someone, okay? So sexuality thereby and so on and so forth. The second one is to love the family, your kids, your parents, your relatives, and so on. Third, we could say, is to love, let's say, your colleagues, your friends, the people, famous or not, in general. Fourth is to what we call Epicureanism. What is it concretely? Epicure is a Greek philosopher, and concretely it is to love life, okay? The materiality, and actually to be grateful for every single thing, and to try to be in this process of unconditional love means that you love everything. You love just to drink a pure glass of water, of a wine, of just a fruits. You are in love and in conditional love because you pick up a fruit on a tree and you are grateful for that, because necessity is linked to the fact to be grateful. This is definitely linked. So, unconditional love, we can consider the fifth one, the fifth element, is the divine love, included everything. So, the definition, the basic definition, is that unconditional, there is no condition for loving. It means that colorless, regardless, whether you love for loving, just without any wish, will, nothing by return. You love and that's it. You emit this amazing energy, and actually you try to spread this love. And this is very important one because it transcends. Those who are in this, let's say, vibration, we can feel it. They are enlightened because the vibration is very high. So this is the first point. Actually, unconditional love means as well the fact to be grateful for all types of life, we say it, but also for from the sacred to the profane things and, let's say, elements of life. To love, for example, football, to love playing, to love video games, to love even a series, whatever, it's basic things of life, because once you reach and you invest a lot of time by loving unconditional love, and which will bring you to a kind of awakening, which is endless process, you understood, but let's say actually once you find this light within you, you have the light within your eyes. It means that all what you watch and observe is luminous. As we say, the light, the beauty is in the eyes of those who look at it. Okay, so basically is that. It is concretely, it is the fact to admire life. This is extremely important. Unconditional love is also linked to the notion of, let's say, embracing, let's say, all types of, let's say, people and activity, okay? Because concretely, it is the symbol of the cross, okay, for Christianity. It's not the torture, let's say, stuff for Jesus. It would have been like this. Actually, it is the symbol of the cross, the real one, is with esoteric part from the Gnosis. It is concretely a good alignment in the horizontal word. What does it mean? It means the materiality, okay? The good food that you appreciate, which is the fruit of Gaia, heart, the earth, the nature in general, which is also another proof of unconditional love. A tree of fruits doesn't choose, oh no, you are not able to pick up these fruits. It gives a flower, the perfume of a flower doesn't choose, it emits the love, unconditional love, with regardless who is receiving this smell. Okay, so it's the same principle. So you can, this is the horizontal, let's say, harmony and love of life. It is this food, sexuality. It's is a pleasure. It's normal. It's and to be grateful for that. It can be from, I said before, from the sacred dimension to, let's say, the profane dimension. What is this? Is really down to earth, or a bit, let's say, not dummy, but let's say not really meaningful, but not meaningless. This is in between both. This is light. It can be just basic, okay, shallow a little bit, but even that can be beautiful. Okay, so this is this, the horizontality. Horizontality can be also deep, in the sense having kids, having I don't know, land off to do culture, harvest, agriculture, and so on. This is down to earth as well. And then this is horizontality. Horizontality is a good alignment with the notion, with invisible words. That's to say, the hereafter, the spirit, the guides, and so on. Doesn't mean necessarily God, because personally, and this is the aspiration of lots of people, let's say the process of God is within everything. According to me, according to my perception, my feelings, when I practice football, when I watch a game of football, there is God. When I eat some food, there is God. Systematically, you see? So it's not, let's say, reserved and booked only for the verticality, but for you to understand, horizontality alignments means harmony and love with down-to-earth physical things, and the other one is more metaphysical things. This is the point. So this is really important, and to love means to love without limits, without borders, because, you know, the great Sufi Sham Ed Tabrizi say the following: this is easier to love a perfect God instead of unperfect fruit of his creation with human beings. And it's so true. A real believer should understand that each single piece of the puzzle is a part of the game, the puzzle game, and of the piece of theater, an expression of God, divinity. And this is really important. You know, the second part is the notion of, apparently, according to a lot of beliefs, and especially the course in miracle, states that there is two currents of energies. The first one is love, and the second one is fear. And actually, the second one is, let's say, the consequences. I mean, they are narrowly linked, because fear is a consequence of a lack of love, or fear to lose it, or and so on, actually. So it is linked. So concretely, there is only love or unlove. Okay, so this is important to see and to perceive. And by the way, you can analyze, because there is two ways to differentiate, to exist, to fragments from the mass. You remember duality? We say we come from the absolute and we have been obliged to extract from it, and this is our reason for being, and that's why we exist. Exist means to separate from the big wall. So we can differentiate through beautiful things or benevolence, or it can be also with nuisance, okay? For example, burning cars or putting the mess in a class, okay, to attract attention and so on. But usually, even this kind of behavior is certainly a way to an appeal, like an SOS, okay, literally, save our soul. It means, hey, help. It's kind of warning, please put me back in the good way, okay, indirectly and unconsciously. So is an indirect aspiration for love, okay? So this is concretely the main vision of unconditional love. Unconditional love actually is linked as well to compassion, empathy, to be grateful. We say to be grateful in general for life, but empathy and compassion are extremely important. Empathy, what is it? Empathy is the capacity to penetrate the integrated system of someone. It means that you try to analyze why this person behave like this, okay? Childhood, trauma from, I don't know, the past, different experience he had, some difficulties and so on. Doesn't mean necessarily that you try to find some excuses. It's not this. It's just you try to understand why he's behaving like this, okay? So concretely, empathy brings tolerance, and in case of extreme murderer and so on, sometimes we can understand trauma for childhood and so on. So, but concretely, empathy brings you a kind of compassion because you understand that is suffering. You can analyze lots of extreme, let's say, devil people who killed lots of people, like Hitler, like Stalin, like Gaddafi, and so on. All of them, they were psychopaths and neurotic. It means that they could not sleep. They were always super stressed, okay, and due to their childhood and so on. But just what I try to tell you, that's I concretely, this is for them in a certain extent. And a lot of people, when you meet someone and he's really aggressive and you really say, oh, this guy is a horrible person, he's a devil and so on, I wish he goes to hell. But he's already in hell. That's the point. No need to wish, because the hell is now here. It's a state of mind. The paradise is here because I'm in the unity of life. I'm peaceful with life. And those who are always in fight within themselves, with the external world and so on, they are already in hell. No need necessarily a judgment. They already are in the process. So what I try to tell you, that's actually unconditional love allows one thing extremely important, and which is beyond of the gratefulness, let's say the notion of gratitude, the notion of empathy and compassion, is the forgiveness. The forgiveness is a way to be purified. And that's why there is very symbolic day for Jewish, let's say, community, is called Yom Kippur. In Hebrew, it means Yom means the day, and Kippur means, we think is forgiveness. It's not this. It's purification. Concretely, how does it work? This D-Day, concretely, if we are both Jewish, and I ask you because I did something wrong to you, and I ask you, please forgive me, the person cannot refuse. I mean, everybody can refuse, of course. But the process is the following, because we are linked, energetically speaking, emotionally speaking, towards this bad and wrong thing. So if the person accepts, to forgive me, actually, I'm, let's say, revealed. And this person as well is unchained. And this is the point. And this is extremely important, because one thing very important, if you keep like a backpack of stones, and the stones can be many things, but trauma and so on. Okay, if you have a conflict with someone, take a simple example. A guy squeezed the queue, and you say something, and he say, "Yeah, fuck off," and then he leave. Okay, that's it, and the scene is finished. And during one day, you say you are like, "Oh, how come it's," and you are super upset. Is you against you. Okay, so you give a punishment to you, and the guy, after a while, after 10 minutes, is smoking a cigarette and he taking easy, has a drink with friends and so on, whatever. He forgot about the scene, maybe. So this is the punishment you impose yourself is vain. I know it seems to be obvious, but it's the same thing from the backpack that we have, full of stones, emotionally, psychologically speaking, and so on. And it's up to you to decide to clean this, to discharge this individual trauma. And that's why it's important to clean and to forgive. And actually, the forgiveness it can be selfish. It allows the person to evolve and to, let's say, awaken, let's say, to ascend, but especially you. So even if you don't do it for this person, do it for you at first, because otherwise it's stuck you with density and low vibration, and it's never good. Those who are always regretting, they reproach and so on, unfortunately, they are in hell as well. So actually, that's why this is unconditional love is a way, I told you at the beginning, is a way, an essence, a subtle essence to transcend and to ascend, because you free up your low energy, and then you can enlighten you. Okay, this is extremely important. All right, so as a practice, I invite you to do two things. The first one is to visualize a bad experience, so-called, let's say, in quote mark, bad experience of something, let's say, painful in the past, and now you analyze it, saying, okay, it brought me this positively. Okay, she left me, but when I see a situation now, she I don't know, alcoholic, she's a drug addict and so on. I prefer we are not together anymore. It's just an example. Or this is a real example. I've been fired when I was 30 years old. Yeah, it has been painful, but it allowed me to bounce off my dreams, of the fact to go to Asia, for example, and to do different things. So it was perfect in the divine blueprints. And I'm very grateful for these periods of time. And this is really important. Actually, we can enjoy, this is unconditional love. We can enjoy the rain, the sadness with a certain detachment. And when you arrive to this point, actually, concretely, is like you enjoy rain and sun, and together you obtain the beauty of the rainbow. And this is a metaphor and very deep, because it's like when you watch TV, for instance. Sometimes we watch drama, melodramatic movies, and we like, we're gonna cry, we know it, and so on, and we like it because there is a kind of pleasure of crying. It's a matter of fact. So as long as you are able and capable to detach and just to observe your emotions and to embrace them, it's for you, is a treasure. At the extreme, you can embrace the disease, because the disease is basically just some symptoms. It's like, a signal on your car saying, be careful, your oil, go to check. So if you're not dummy, you will go to garage. You don't say, okay, close my eyes. No, it's the same for a disease. A disease is just warning, warning, warning. Your way of behaving, your way of eating, your way you work too much, you don't sleep enough, and so on. It's just, or you don't do any sport, all this kind of thing. It's just a warning. Okay, so as long as you welcome life like this as divine blueprints, you're peaceful for everything. And even a disease, you say, okay, thank you for the information. Okay, I'm gonna change, and then you heal, and that's it. And it was just an experience. We are here to experience life and to know deeply what we are, the true I am, and how to know that by doing the experience of what we are not. And this is simple, like this. It's just a game. So the first practice I invite you to do is that, to try to visualize something apparently wrong, difficult, painful, but at the end brought you something positive. First. Secondly, try to visualize someone who made you suffer, okay, and you try to visualize this person, okay, like meditation, and you try to visualize this person asking you, please forgive me, okay, and you try to give a hand to this person, to embrace, and at this moment try to visualize a kind of light and so on, and you feel release of your stones, black stones, okay, the matter, okay, your matters will disappear. And if the matters disappear, the light will come. And this is the true love, and this is the unconditional love. That's why is a transcendental essence. This is extremely important. I invite you to do the test, to try it, and also to try to visualize all this information through your daily life. Watch several times this video. Try also to feedback, to reformulate, to synthesize, take some notes, maybe to share, to try to explain, to transmit with your friends, to share the video like this. You can have a different point of view, because once again, this is a lot of elements, and you have to digest, to soak, to infuse this element and take what's vibrate within you. And also because there is many ways, all the roads lead to Rome and to home. Thank you for your attention, and see you soon.